and I'm talking from Finland. It's beautiful winter time here, but cold as well, freezing cold. Today, I want to talk about something very important when we are thinking about the far future development of technology. I don't want to address on technology itself today, but kind of open the view, a horizon towards the development of humanity with these technological improvements and this great and fast development within it. So let's talk about biological issues today. From biological occasions to intentional soul-centric design is our headline. Today, let's venture into the wild logic evaluation of human trajectory. We are approaching a fundamental shift in how we define our existence, moving from paradigm where the physical body is the master, the one where the soul of the individual is the primary substrate, and the body is its custom-built apparatus. Let's take a sneak peek into the history, the biological paradigm. Historically, we have viewed a human core as a physical appearance. We are kind of homo materialis. Our life cycle is a byproduct of a natural flow, a temporary synchronicity of atoms that rises from the dust and eventually returns to it. In this state, our cognition is restricted by biological organs and finite energy. Our reincarnation is currently literal, but impersonal. Our matter persists, but our individual essence is lost to the entropy of the natural cycle. How about the future? Let's make a construction around the soul. The future suggests a reversal. Imagine the soul, the unique informational and energetic blueprint of you, as the foundation. Instead of the soul being a passenger in a random biological body, we will learn to reconstruct the human apparatus around the soul, organ by organ. This is a great experiment for us all, discovering the roots of the soul. This leads us to a profound question. What happens to the soul during this reconstruction? Currently, the roots of the soul are a mystery. But as we replace biological organs with engineered ones, we perform the ultimate scientific observation at the same time. If we reconstruct the human and individual essence, their minus, me, remains identical, and it manifests exactly as it did in the natural body. We finally prove the soul's independent existence. Does the soul disappear when its original biological housing is gone? Or is it an immortal constant that simply needs a functional interface to interact with the world? By building a new presence around it, we may finally map the origin of the soul itself. And we are going to have kind of expansion of human skills, linguistic APIs, and universal connectivity. Cognition and language become modular interfaces, kind of linguistic APIs. We can communicate in any dialect. We process any human language through real-time cognitive modules. we can present interspecies communication. We bridge the gap between human consciousness and biosphere, translating biosignals of animals directly into the soul's experience. In this scenario, a human becomes a universal node, an immortal soul capable of communicating with all life forms. What are the challenges and impacts then? The technical challenge is immense. We must learn to replicate the unique energy flow, the specific speed and intensity of an individual soul to ensure the reconstruction is kind of correct. But the deeper challenge is existential. If we achieve soul-bounded immortality and universal communication, what happens to the natural flow? If we stop returning to dust, do we become isolated from the very evolution that created us? And then the wisdom gap. In a world without death, how do we ensure society doesn't stagnate under the weight of eternal individuals? Then what about our identity? If your language, your organs, and your senses are replaceable modules, what remains as the true you? And finally, ethically, we risk a divide between those who are cycle-bound and those who are eternally constructed. So, as a conclusion, we are stepping into an era where we can lift our heads from daily survival and look at the horizon of our own design. By building ourselves around our souls, we gain the power of a universal node, the ability to live forever and speak to all things and life forms. But as we reconstruct the human, we must be careful to preserve the very essence we are trying to house. We are moving from being creations of nature to being architects of our own eternity. This transition brings profound consequences. If we achieve a soul-bounded constructions, we effectively end the natural cycle of dust to dust. I must say that this speech doesn't actually reflect my core values, but I think that it's important to highlight these topics since the logical development of technology by the side of humanity seems to continue in the way that leads finally replacing all our organs, our physical organs. Thank you for your time today.